Hey guys! This is a multi-character ex-listener. This is the second episode of Let Us Take Care of You. You guys wanted this to be a series, so here you go. I hope you enjoy. And yes, I hope you enjoy, and let's get on with the video. You didn't know how you ended in this situation. You were in Todoroki's room. His arms were up around your waist, and you were laying on his bed. After the hero training, you have coughed a little of blood because one of the plates had gotten stuck on your throat. So you started to cough too much blood for his liking. So he took you to recovery girl and she treated you. Then he dragged you to his room and now you were there. You knew your friends were gonna be furious because you ditched them, but you couldn't do anything. Turk insisted. Yuan, let me take care of you. Just please. You had to agree. You didn't want to fight with him. But 5 minutes later, you were laying there. Someone stormed into Todoroki's room, almost breaking the door. He said, "Fucking half and half! Where the fuck is Yuan?" You turned to see Bakugo and said, "Hey, Bakugo, why are you screaming?" He looked at you, and his face grew mad and said, "Why aren't you into the Rocky's bed?" You explained that Todoroki had dragged you into his room after you had hurt your throat with one of your blades. He said, "Whatever, come here, Yuan, I will take you back to my dorm." Todoroki then grabbed your wrist and said, "Bakugo, Yuan is not going anywhere." You were confused, but you were too weak to fight something, so you just laid in Todoroki's bed and fell asleep. When you woke up, you saw 4 males fighting each other, not physically, with words. They were saying, "Midoriya, let me take care of Yuan. I'm better than you taking care of people. You break all your bones. How do you expect me not to think you'll break them too?" Midoriya defended himself and said, "Todoroki-kun, that's not like that. I'm the best with injuries here. Yes, I hurt myself a lot, but I think I'm the best that can handle them." Bakugo scoffed and said, "Damn Deku, just shut the fuck up. I'm taking care of Yuan." Kirishima then tried to calm them down and said, Guys, calm down. We don't want to wake Yuan up." Then Kirishima turned around to see you and said, "Oh, Yuan, you're awake." The 3 other boys turned to see you and they apologized for waking you up. You said it was nothing to worry about, but then Midoriya came closer and said, "Good, let's go, Yuan. I'm gonna take care of you. These guys don't know how to." You shook your hand and said, "Guys, I don't want you to fighting over me. I'm going to my room, okay?" They all gave you a glare and said, "Yuan, we're not saying you're a fragile person, but right now, you're in a weak state. We don't want you to get hurt worse. As your best friend, I should take care of you," Kirishima proclaimed. The males started fighting again, but you started to go out of the room. You were walking through the hallways when you bumped into someone. It was your friend, Kaminari. You said, "Hey Kami, how are you?" He looked down at you and said, "Hey Yuan, are you okay?" You explained that Bakugo, Todoroki, Deku, and Kirishima were fighting over who will take care of you. Then he gave you a smirk and said, "Well, let me take care of you. They are gonna end up fighting each other, so I'm your best bet." You gave a chuckle and said, "Sure, whatever, Kami." You guys headed to Kaminari's room and started playing video games. Little did you know, 4 guys were looking at you from all over the school, and they were arguing at the same time. "Bakugo, I told you I should take care of Yuan. Look, we don't know where she is. She could be hurt." Bakugo glared at Todoroki and said, "Icy Hot, shut up. You don't know how to take care of a person, okay?" Then Kirishima screamed at them, "Guys, Yuan is not made of glass. She's a person. We need to calm down. If we want to protect her, we need to do our best of our abilities. This is not manly at all, you know?" They all agreed and continued looking for you. You were playing games with Kaminari and beating him each round you guys played a video game. You guys played Mario Kart and many other games, but he was, "Yuan, I will never invite you to play video games again. I'm not gonna pass this embarrassment again." You laughed and said, Kaminari, it's not my fault you're bad at video games. He felt offended and said, For your information, Yuan, I'm the best person there is at video games, thank you very much. You laughed and said, You're funny, Kaminari. You swear to God you could see a blush in his cheeks, and he quickly turned away. Yeah, Yuan, I know I'm funny. Thanks for informing me. I'm also handsome, charming, and what else can I say? You laughed again and said, And you're too full of yourself, Mr. Kaminari. You guys started laughing, and soon someone opened the door. He said, Hey, Pikachu, has you seen Yuan? It was Baku at the door, and he stopped when he looked at you and screamed, Why is Yuan in your room, Down's face? He was storming off to meet Kaminari, but you stopped him and said, Don't worry, Baku, Kaminari was just hanging with me. Don't need to get mad. He looked at you and said, Whatever, extra. Come with me. He then dragged you out of Kaminari's room, leaving Kaminari alone. He dragged you back to his dorm and gave you a blanket and said, Lay here, I'm gonna bring you some food. You chuckled, said, Okay. You didn't understand why did you let people treat you like this. Yes, you were one of the weaker in health of people of Class 1A. You were a strong fighter, but thanks to your quirk, your health was deteriorating. And you could admit it was a huge drawback, but you still were determined to be a hero. A few minutes later, Bakugo came in with some soup and said, Drink it, it will make better your throat. You drank the soup. Well, you talked with Bakugo. That conversation had many insults, many laughs, and you mainly making fun of Bakugo for looking like a Pomeranian. But when you were going to stand up to leave, Bakugo pinned you against the wall and said, Yuan, you're sure you're okay? He sounded serious, not angry in his voice, just worried. You looked up at him and put your hand on his shoulder and said, Bakugo, I'm fine. You don't need to worry, okay? Damn, Yuan, how the fuck do you expect me not to worry? You're my best friend, okay? You look up at him, surprised in his eyes. He never admitted he was friends with anyone, so you were shocked. You put your hand in his cheek and said, Katsuki, thank you for all of this. I know I might not be the strongest, not the brightest, but I'm glad that you take care of me and you worry about me. But I'm gonna be fine. I'm not made of glass, you know? He chuckled and said, Whatever you want. Do you want me to walk you back to your dorm? You shook your head and said, Don't worry, Bakugo, I will be fine. You started heading back when suddenly someone stopped you. It was Kirishima, your best friend. Hey, Yuan, how are you? You looked up at him and said, Hey, Kiri, I'm fine, don't worry. He gave a small groan and said, Yuan, no, you're not fine. That hurt you had on your throat looked pretty bad. You sure you're okay? You shook your hand and said, Kiri, thanks for the support, but I'm fine. He humped and dragged you into his room. He sat you on the bed and he said, We're gonna watch a movie. I want to make sure you're okay, so I'm gonna be observing you to see if you're okay. You chuckled, but sighed in defeat, and said, Whatever, Kiri, I will do it. You guys started watching a movie that actually took 2 hours. It was already 9 p.m. You had to get back to your dorm. Kiri, I really need to get back to my dorm now. It's 9 p.m. I need to get changed from bed. He sighed and said, Okay, Yuan, I will let you go now. Have a good night, bestie. You chuckled and said, Good night, my dear friend. You also swear you could see he was blushing, but you just decided to shake it off. You were walking back to your dorm once again when some individual decided to interrupt you. It was Deku. He said, Hi, Yuan, are you okay? You sighed and said, Deku, many people have asked me that today, and I also have to answer I'm fine. He humphed again and said, Well, I don't believe you, but if you say so, I brought you some chocolate. I think it could make you feel better eating something sweet. You said, Oh my god, thank you, Izuku, and gave him a kiss on the cheek. While you were walking back, you saw Midoriya standing there in shock, holding his cheek. You swear you broke the guy. Finally, you were in your dorm, about to open the door, when someone grabbed the handle and opened it. It was Todoroki. May I help you, Yuen? You looked at him and blushed a little. You didn't expect to see him there. And you said, "Hi, Todoroki. No, don't worry. I'm just heading to bed." He sighed and said, "Well, I was hoping I could spend some time with you, since Bakugo disturbed us when I was checking if you were alright." You sighed and said, "Okay, fine, but just 1 hour. I really need to go to sleep. Tomorrow we have training." You see his eyes sparkle, and you guys enter your room. You guys talked about everything: training, life, friends. He was usually a quiet type, but with you, you could easily make this boy speak more than any other person could. Finally, he saw you were starting to get tired and said, "Well, Yuen, I should probably head to my room. Have a good night." He leaned closer to you and planted a kiss on your forehead and said, "Sleep well, my dear Yuen." Then he proceeded to go out of your room. You were a blushing mess. Actually, you were a blushing mess for all that happened today. You were embarrassed, but still happy. You had people that got your back, and that's what all mattered.